Hey there, comic book fans. I'm back from the comic shop again this week. And it was, since my comics didn't come in last week, it was a big week at the comic shop this week. 13 comics. Last week's plus this week's. But first, let me show you my top of the printer museum comics for the week. We went moody this week. We got Gargoyle #1 from Marvel, a Bernie Wrightson cover. There's his signature down there. I think the N cut off. So there's a Bernie Wrightson cover from, what year was this? Is there a, let me see if there's a year in the, 1985. And then we've got, this is by Bernie Moreau and Ken Stacy. There's their signature down there. This is one of the Grendel covers. Bernie Moreau drew this one too. This is some of the first stuff I saw from him. I really liked it. BEM is his signature down there. So a couple of real moody covers on top of my printer this week. What other freebie did I get? Oh, this one's thick. There must be some missing comic shop news in here. Comic shop news 2022. Spring preview. Comic shop news 1805. Zero War. In Comic Shop News 1806. A Calculated Man. I don't know who that is. Is that David Aja? AJA I see there. I wonder what a calculated... Is he doing an indie thing? A Calculated Man, Tobin, Alberto Albuquerque. Okay, I guess he's just doing the cover. Don't know who it's coming from. Somewhere or another. We'll see. But I got plenty of comic shop news to check out this week. Let's see what comics I got. We've got Monstrous, number 38. I think this is one of last week's. Always good, Monstrous, this high fantasy series. Well, that's scariness. And last I knew, our main character was trapped somehow. They had her drugged and trapped in this weird dream world, so she's trying to break out of with her monster that's trapped inside her. Oh, here's a #1 I picked up. Ghost Cage. There's only 3 issues in this one. How much was this? This was a $6 one. It's extra thick. Nick Dragotta, art co-writer, Caleb Goldner, co-writer. So I just picked this up. Nick Dragotta was the East of West artist. I didn't realize it was in black and white. So I wanted to check. I don't know if I think I only put the first issue on my pull list. I don't know if I put the other 2, but like I said, I think it's 3 issues. Let's see if it, some of them say in the indicia, but I think I just happened to see this one said 1 of 3, but no, it doesn't say it, but we'll see how this one is. This one's a last week comic too. But I like Nick Dragotta's art in East of West, so I'll check out that one. Department of Truth, issue number 17. Each issue kind of has a different theme that has something to do with conspiracy stuff. James Tinian IV, George Fournier's. Their names are crossed out. I generally enjoy this one. Oh, it looks like we got some Nixon stuff going on. We'll have to see what conspiracy we got going on with Nixon. And if too many people believe a conspiracy, history gets rewritten so the conspiracy is true. So it's the Department of Truth's job to make sure that people don't believe conspiracies. There. By the way, I have no idea what Ghost Cage is about. I can't remember. What else do we have? The logo I couldn't quite read. Aerosmith, Behind Enemy Lines, issue 3 of 6. Kurt Busiek, Carlos Pacheco. And this one is about, it takes place during World War I, except in a world much like ours, except there's magic. There's some of those magic using dragons right there. And then this, there was a Aerosmith series like 15 years ago, 6-issue series. And this one was kind of picked up where that one left off. Except in this one, he's on a mission behind enemy lines, hence the title. So he's in a prisoner of war camp. Uh-oh, looks like her face is all messed up. Whoever she might be. Don't know. So he's in a prisoner of war camp on some mission. We'll see if he survives it. Then we've got Usagi Jimbo, Lone Goat and Kid. Issue number 3. That's a pretty cool cover. Those are the ninja bats that are drawn really well here by this. Is this the Mouse Guard guy, David Peterson. But this is the reprint Usagi book. Always good. It's the Usagi Jimbo fan club meets here Friday nights, where we all like Usagi on our Friday night show. So I'm always saying good things about Usagi. I'm not always saying good things about Spawn. Issue 328. I've been liking Spawn better since Rory McConville has been writing it. Carlos Barberi on the artwork, and it's the last of the $3 books. That's why I buy it. But like I said, it's actually been better since Todd McFarlane started. He's writing, I think, Gunslinger Spawn right now, so he's got other Spawns to keep him. Hey, that looks like Luke Cage there with his yellow shirt. I can't tell you what's going on in Spawn. There's some war going on between Spawn and a bunch of other people. The same thing that's always going on in Spawn. Well, I shouldn't say always. I don't really know. Except the handful of issues I read before I started picking it up last year, there was always some sort of big war going on. Then what do we have? Rogue Sun, issue number 2. This is part of the Radiant Black universe. The first issue was pretty good. And I read something about... they said this is Image's most popular, superhero comic world since Invincible. So there's now 3 comics in it. There's Radiant Black, Radiant Red is a mini, and I think Rogue Sun is an ongoing. Or this might be a 6-issue one too. I can't remember. It's by Ryan Parrott, writer. The artist is just named Abel, Abel. Francesco Martorino is the backup artist. Oh, I guess is there a backup story? Is that what they mean? He's not an artist on call in case the other one falls down. There must be a backup story. Chris O'Halloran is the colorist. Becca Carey is the letterer. But this is Rogue Sun just inherited this superhero suit from his father, who was a world-known superhero but died in the line of duty. So now the son's taken over, and he was estranged from his father, too. So there's some father-son issues going on. A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, issue number 6. Rick Remender and Andre Lima Araujo. The art in this is terrific. The storytelling is terrific. It's about a guy who we really don't know much about, but he decides he wants to help out these people who... There's this world of assassins where you pick up work on the internet and they tell you who needs to be hit and you get the money. And he decided to kind of infiltrate that world and help people out who are targeted for assassination. But we don't know if he really knows anything. If he's just something besides an ordinary guy, we don't know it. And it's issue 6 already. Matter of fact, the issue 5 ended pretty roughly. So we'll have to see how for him and the woman he was trying to protect. So we'll have to see how that works out. And here's Radiant Black I just mentioned before. Rogue Sun and Radiant Black both take place in the same universe. Who does this one? Writer is Kyle Higgins. Artist is Marcella Costa. Colorist Raul Angulo. And the letter is Becky Carey. And this is sort of like little Power Rangers-ness in this, where he's Radiant Black because his costume is black. That some alternate universe or alien gave him. Supposedly for a reason, and there's 5 of them, the five colors. I guess it's like a Green Lantern-like thing. And there's also some real sort of modern takes going on in this one, where they're all trying to get Twitter followings and make some money and be popular kind of thing. Then there's also some superhero stuff going on. I have no idea what's going on in this issue. I can't remember what happened in the last issue, because now that I'm reading 3 Radiant Black type books, can't keep them all straight so far. So we'll see how that one goes. Then we've got The Magic Order, issue number 6. Pretty cool cover. I didn't like issue 5 very much. This is the last issue, though. It was just kind of like in issue 5, the evil magic guys all won and wrecked the world. So I pretty much figure in issue 6 they're going to use magic to fix it. Maybe they won't. We'll have to see. But it was kind of like issue 5 was all about the villains winning. And he just hit one of the villains with a shovel, so she's not winning anymore. It was all about the villains winning, but you knew there was another issue and the villains weren't going to end up winning. So it was kind of like, well, why did he put us through a whole issue of the villains winning? I don't know. Then we've got Cerebus the Emily doing a... Hold on, I got it right back here. Where is it? Emily's Book of Strange. He's doing a parody of that. This was like a popular children's book from like the early 2000s. Why he chose to parody Emily Strange, I'm not really sure. But there you go. We got a Cerebus parodying Emily Strange book. So we'll see how that goes. And the number on this is 1035 of 1649. He put each one is individually numbered up there, and he's starting now to. I just found out in my from my comic shop owner, he started to do multiple covers now on this because Roy was like, "Oh, there's a Cerebus coming out with 2 covers. Do you want both of them?" I'm like, "No, I'll just take one cover." Especially, it's another double-sized $8 issue. I was like, no. No thank you for multiple covers on that one. Then we got Saga 57. This came out last week. I enjoy Saga. Good stuff. We'll see what happens with issue 57. Let's see. One more thing I got out this week is issue 2 of The Lion and the Eagle. Magazine size. Matter of fact, I just reread issue 1. Usually I like to read all my comics twice. Pardon me, before I file them away. Usually I read them within the same week or two, but for some reason, Lion and the Eagle sat around for issue 1. I read it, and then it sat in my to-be-read a second time pile for like a month and a week. So I think this has been like a month and a half. It's the story of the British Army fighting the Japanese in World War II in Burma. Oh, there's the map. Garth Ennis and P.J. Holden. Some harsh. I really enjoyed the first issue. I've been enjoying most of these Aftershock one-shots. This one's not a one-shot. They just raised the price to $8. I think they were $7 for a while. So it's $8 for 40 pages, which is about which would be two Marvel comics at $4, because Marvel and DC comics are 20 pages apiece at $4. Most of the indie comics are like 24 pages or so. But like I said, I really enjoyed the first issue. Put it on my pull list. I think it's like 4 issues. I don't remember which, but whichever it is, I'm down for all of them. Let me show you a little bit of what I've been doing this week. And here is, you know what? When I first started doing my Gatsby thing, my Gatsby illustrations, I wasn't sure I wanted to do the green light, because there's a green light in the Gatsby that is symbolic at the beginning, and there's some glasses, eyes that no illustrator can resist. And it turns out I wasn't going to do the green light until I found a drawing I liked. I just happened to be looking through my book of drawings, and I was like, "Ooh, that would make a good green light." So I made that into the original tiny little sketch into this green light drawing, which I think I'm done with it, but I'm not sure. I might make this light more decorative. We'll have to see. But that's the printout of it so far. And then I'm still working on what Gatsby himself looks like. So I was kind of designing a cover for it and using this figure as Gatsby. And I kind of like the way this figure came out, but then I was doing another drawing of his face. It didn't quite capture it the way it did in this one. Then I also decided to do a color ink drawing of the same drawing, and I have him melting into the water in one version of the cover. So I decided to do a color ink drawing of him melting into the water, melting into the Long Island Sound. So there's 2 different versions of Gatsby so far, and he wears a pink suit in the book. So that's I didn't quite color it pink, but I used a lot of my pink and red colors on that one. So there you go. Little update on my Gatsby. Oh, and I have a Patreon down below. You can click on the link if you want to see more or support my artwork. And what do we got? 13 comics, a big week, and you guys all have a good week out there.